first in on-campus moot court competitions, including the Lynch Appellate and Gafford mock trial competitions, first in the ABA negotiation regionals, and ninth in the ABA nationals. For his service to the community, including high school tutoring and significant pro bono and public service work, Gregory received the Wiley W. Manuel Award and was inducted into California Western's Pro Bono and Public Service Honor Societies. Please join me in welcoming our student commencement speaker, Gregory Gianoni.
Thank you, Dean, for that very kind and generous introduction. It's by far the best $20 that I've ever spent. Dean Gianoni, Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty and staff, cherished friends and family, and my dear classmates, welcome to graduation for the class of 2013. Before coming to law school, some of my friends that had already taken the plunge said to me, "Don't do it, Greg. Law school's not worth it." But now that I've gone through it for myself, I can stand up here before all of you and honestly say, my friends were right. For those graduates that didn't laugh at that joke, you might want to find your sense of humor before we start studying for the bar. It's going to be a long 3 months. Only 3 short years ago, we matriculated as wide-eyed, eager 1Ls, wandering around with our heaps of books and inquisitive looks. We spent hours preparing for class, fearing having to stand up and recite a case for Professor Lynch, curious who would be the next tearful victim of Professor Stiglitz, and wondering what crazy necktie Dean DeScent was going to wear next. But today is not a day of fear and wonder. Today is a day of reflection and pride, a day that marks a milestone in our careers and in our lives. At this landmark, we must reflect and thank those who have demonstrated patience and expertise in teaching us complex legal concepts, and those who have taken the time to mentor us in our practical experiences. So let us applaud our esteemed professors and mentors for the time and energy they have dedicated to supporting our decision to attend law school. Yay! During our tenure at California Western School of Law, the class of 2013 has achieved a plethora of noteworthy accomplishments, conquering the many challenges with which we've been faced. I myself have confronted and conquered many challenges in my life, and at times when I felt overwhelmed, overworked, and unmotivated, my mother would empathetically say to me, "Do one thing at a time, and everything will get done." While this is great advice, doing one thing at a time is not always a luxury afforded to law students, and certainly not the ambitious students that attend Cal Western. In turn, the class of 2013 has brought new meaning to the term multitasking. We have been simultaneously pulled in multiple directions, learning to effectively juggle not just our academic careers, but our internships, our volunteer work, and other social and academic commitments that have occupied our waking hours for the last 3 years. We've spent countless hours interning at government and private organizations, practicing both civil and criminal law. 2 highlights of this graduating class include the release of Daniel Larson and Brian Banks through the California Innocence Project. We're also very happy to report that Brian Banks has since been signed with the Atlanta Falcons as a linebacker. Moreover, we have expanded the Community Law Project, and we are the only law school in the nation to receive the President's Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll with distinction for our public work service. Some of our graduates have gone through law school while raising families of their own, balancing their lives around children and loved ones, a juggling act beyond that which I can fathom. But most importantly, we have volunteered our time and energy to help the San Diego community with both legal and non-legal issues. In taking on these great responsibilities, we have shown that Cal Western students possess the requisite qualities to be outstanding attorneys. We are entering a profession that demands honor, integrity, and intellect, cornerstone characteristics to which we will be held as we take on leadership roles in our communities. Being an attorney requires artful persuasion, persistence, and patience, prominent virtues that will allow us to distinguish ourselves as we are recognized as the excellent advocates that our professors and mentors have taught us to be. As we embark on our new careers and continue to juggle the many facets of our lives, try your best to follow my mother's advice. Do one thing at a time, and everything will get done. And if by chance that doesn't work, just do as I did, give my mother a call and ask for some new advice. In fact, just so everyone knows who my mother is, Mom, why don't you go ahead and stand up? My mother will be the first to tell you that she doesn't like to take credit for things alone, so Dad, why don't you stand up as well? Unfortunately, my sister Julie couldn't be here today, but I'd like to thank both of you for putting up with my cross-examinations of your day and my new favorite answer to all of your questions: it depends. In fact, I'm sure that my family members aren't the only people in the audience that have been told it depends over the last 3 years. So why don't all of the parents, grandparents, siblings, and other loved ones stand up so that our graduating class can thank you for all of the love and support you've given us over the last 3 years. Just as doing one thing at a time is not always practical, neither was my friend's advice. As it turns out, my friends were wrong. Having a legal education has exposed me to the many different perspectives of the world and furthered my desire to help others. Cal Western has prepared us to handle any obstacle that we may encounter in our careers. I am proud to be a part of the legal community that we will soon enter and to be a graduate in the class of 2013. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Greg. California Western is served by a